The Midday Mix on Mix 93.8.
Earlier on, I promised you I'm going to have a chat with Mike. Mike is going to let us know how, it's going to let us know what it takes to become rainmakers. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good to be back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good to speak to you, man. I know it's our first time on air having this conversation. Damien is not available today, so you stuck with me.
I'm 100% happy with that.
All right, cool. So today you need us to stop thinking like salespersons and start thinking like a doctor. I'm trying to just figure out how I must phrase this question. But Mike, you have engaged with and interviewed the world's leading deal makers, and you say to become one of them, you need to think like a doctor. Can you elaborate?
Yes, of course. Yeah, this is really important. Have you ever had a doctor try to sell you on a medical procedure before examining you? Of course not. Doctors ask questions and listen carefully to diagnose the problem first.
True.
Average sales professionals, on the other hand, jump into pitching their solution the second into the engagement. So we have to stop thinking like a salesperson and start thinking like a doctor.
100%.
Slow down and focus on understanding your prospect's biggest challenges. This will help you present as your authoritative expert in the eyes of your prospect. Start to drop your tone of voice, ask thoughtful questions, and adopt a more genuine approach. This will make a massive difference to your top line.
True, man. I hear you. You actually remind me of the days when I was also in school. Our marketing teacher used to say, identify prospects and not suspects. I used to love that phrase. It sort of took me back there. And would you also mind expand further and give us 7 more powerful tips on how to become a top deal maker?
Sure thing. First of all, we've got to learn to disqualify. Tip number 1. At least 50% of prospects aren't a good fit for your offering. Maybe they don't have the necessary budget, or they simply don't face the right challenges. Instead of trying to persuade a bad fit to buy from you, disqualify and move on. The world's top sales professionals spend the majority of their time on the right prospects. You can only do this if you're willing to walk away from the wrong ones. Tip 2, This is so important. Talk less. Think about your average sales meeting. Do you talk more than 15% of the interaction? If so, you're talking too much. Expert sales professionals listen more than they talk. You'll never discover what your prospects need if you do all the talking. Instead, ask strategic questions that create more value and listen carefully to understand what's motivating your customer. Point 3 here, sell to the decision makers. This is where most people get it wrong. If you're going to join the top 5% of salespeople, you must stop selling to low and mid-level management. These prospects simply don't have the power or budget to buy from you. That's why successful sales professionals don't waste their time on non-decision makers. Focus your efforts on connecting with prospects who are capable of investing in your solution. Point 4 here, focus on money-making tasks. Some tasks are directly linked to making money, such as prospecting, following up with key customers, and securing meetings. Do those things. All the busy work that won't increase your profits should be outsourced to someone else. Successful sales professionals only spend time on tasks that actually make money. Tip 5 here, always project success and confidence. We all know what it's like to need a sale to pay the bills, but even in the most extreme scenarios, never act desperate. In every sales meeting, you should appear financially secure, successful, and confident. When a prospect believes you don't need them, they'll be much more attracted to you and more inclined to trust what you say. In fact, you'll come off as the expert. Now, the point here, very important. Go after the big sales. Average salespeople often close many more sales than top performers. The secret lies in focusing on the quality of sales, not the quantity. Successful salespeople only go after really big sales. They often require the same amount of work as the small ones, but they come with a much bigger payout. And my final point for today, focus on referrals. When most salespeople close a sale, they go after the next opportunity. The world's top sales professionals don't do that. Instead, they leverage off each new customer into another valuable prospect. Rather than cold calling new leads, rely on existing customers for introductions to keep your sales pipeline full.
Oh, beautiful, man. I love that, Mike. And the most beautiful thing about referrals is because there's already a reference point. The next person that you're talking to is not like, it's not difficult to actually convince or rather make them understand what you're talking about, is it?
Absolutely. And, and I think the big thing is that most sales professionals get it wrong, or salespeople, is they talk too much and they don't listen. So we've got to stop talking and start listening, and also work smarter. Think like a doctor. Focus on referrals. I mean, referral presentations is an easy, quick way to maximize your profit. And most salespeople never ask for that referral.
Wow. That's true, man. I really love what you're saying, man. And in closing, Mike, do you want to say anything to the people out there?
Importantly, we must, even also as a sales professional, we must never surrender. We must keep moving and never give up. If we keep moving and we never give up, we will always arrive at where we want to be.
100%, man. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with us, Mark. We'll definitely do this again with you next week, and hopefully Damien will be back to have a chat with you next week.
Fantastic. Can't wait. Thank you very much.
Enjoy the holiday as well. It's going to be a very long weekend for most people this coming weekend. All right, there. You look after yourself, man, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
The Midday Mix on Mix 93.8.